This is Jason Dunn from Digital Home Thoughts, and this is a review of the HP 2133 Mini Note. I previously did an unboxing and first impressions video a little bit over a month ago, and I've had about a month now to spend with the device, learning how to use it, figuring out what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and here are my impressions. It's pretty quick to boot up. It boots up in about 1 minute and 12 seconds. It takes it about 30 seconds to shut down, so it's not too bad. I really like the design. That's probably the single strongest point that I can say for this particular device. The keyboard is almost full size. It has a really great keyboard for typing. The screen itself is easily one of the best screens I've ever seen on a small device like this. It's got a great screen. The resolution on the screen is nice and high, and it may actually be a little bit too high, so you have to make sure that you actually have good vision to use this laptop, because frankly on an 8.9-inch screen, this laptop has the same resolution that a lot of 13-inch laptops have, so it's something you want to be aware of. One of the things I was less impressed with was the battery life. This particular battery I was given was the 3-cell version, and the battery on it does not last very long. If I was using it to do a bit of typing. And essentially it lasts about an hour and 30 minutes, and that is with the brightness 3 notches down from maximum. So that's at about 70% brightness. So if you're in a brightly lit room and you need to crank up the brightness, you might be looking at maybe an hour and 15 minutes. The 6-cell battery, which is available, and the 6-cell battery kind of humps out the bottom here. That battery essentially doubles the battery life, so you'd be looking at more like 2.5, even 3 hours. That's a lot more reasonable battery life. But unfortunately, I was not given one of those to test out, so it's actually just telling me that HP Update wants to run. I'm going to click cancel. The touchpad itself down here, the touchpad is wider than you would expect. Most touchpads are going to be a little bit taller than this, so that was something that it did take me a little while to get used to. And the fact that the buttons are on the left and the right rather than being down here, that also takes a while to get used to, because if you're used to going like this and then reaching down here to do a right tap or a left tap, although usually a left tap you do by tapping the cursor area, the pad, the right mouse tap is, like I said, a little bit awkward. Now, I think probably, though, more than the battery life and more than anything else on this laptop that I did not like, unfortunately, is the CPU. The CPU in this particular unit is a 1.2 gigahertz VIA processor, and it, frankly, is just not powerful enough. I tried, one of the first things I tried, I was curious about, and people in my forums were asking, can this device, play back 720p video? Could you use it as a high definition, video watching terminal? And the answer is no, it can't. And frankly, I thought that, that's kind of pushing the boundaries for a small portable device like this anyway. But what I was surprised at is that it does not actually play regular 480p DVD resolution, 720 by 480, regular DVD resolution. The 1.2 gigahertz processor cannot handle it. It just chugs along. Now, I've been told that the 1.6 gigahertz version that has 2 gigs of RAM, it will actually play video, DVD resolution video without a problem, but this particular unit that I was sent unfortunately does not do that. So for me, that was a pretty significant letdown. It sputters and stutters and drops frames and sort of does everything else. There was a little bit of added junk software, not a whole lot. There was, like an AOL toolbar and a couple other things that I uninstalled, but nothing I uninstalled really made that big of a difference in terms of the overall performance of the device. I had a chance to have a conference call with HP, and I had a chance to ask them a couple of questions about this particular device and some of its quirks that I had noticed. So for instance, you see how long that actually took to draw on the screen there? That's an example of, I think, where this CPU and maybe even the GPU, where they just kind of, fall down. Everything on the laptop just feels a little bit too sluggish. So one of the things I asked them about was when you close the laptop, it goes into hibernate. Okay, so this is what pretty much every laptop on the planet will do. You close the lid, it goes into hibernate mode. So I'm going to wait a couple seconds here. It looks like the hard drive is still blinking here, like it's writing to disk. I often wish laptops went to sleep faster, especially it seems like Vista-based laptops, they don't actually make it into sleep mode as quickly as possible. And actually, I should clarify, when most laptops, when you close the lid, they will in fact go into sleep mode rather than hibernate mode. Hibernate mode will typically happen automatically after a certain period of time. So it looks like it's still grinding away here. Well, let's just try popping it open and we'll just see. Yeah, see, so even after all that time, it didn't actually go into sleep mode, and that's not very impressive. At any rate, though, normally what will happen is you close the lid, and within maybe 10 or 15 seconds it goes into sleep mode. Now when you open up the lid, what should typically happen with almost every laptop out there is it will come out of sleep mode and the laptop will wake up. This laptop does not do that. I asked HP why that was, and they said that it was a specific request from the education market, which of course is who this laptop is designed for. They said that because it doesn't have a latch here to hold the lid closed, apparently there was some feedback from people that they were afraid that students would, close the lid, and then while it was in their bag or something, the lid would actually pop open a little bit enough to wake up the laptop, and then the battery would be dead when they got it there. So that may be perfectly valid for the education market, but I think for a lot of other users, that's kind of a bizarre compromise. And this button down here, the on-off button, it's frankly one of the more irritating on-off buttons I've used. So it's not a showstopper, but it is something to be aware of. I asked them why it didn't come with any antivirus software, and they said that there's actually a folder on the hard drive that contains Norton Antivirus, and it wasn't preloaded simply because it wasn't required by this particular SKU, and that when educational users order the laptops, for school districts and things like that, they can customize it as to whether or not they want Norton Antivirus. I thought that it was great that it didn't come preloaded with that, because frankly the CPU is such a dog, it would have churned and it probably would have completely killed the laptop for 10 minutes. So that's actually a good thing. But again, getting back to that CPU, apparently a lot of devices like this now are coming with the Intel Atom processor. And when I asked the guys at HP, why they didn't use the Atom processor, apparently it was just a time to market thing. Because this device started shipping, a couple of months ago, and essentially they needed a processor that they could get, in mass to actually bring this product to market, and the Atom processor just wasn't there yet. So that's why they went with the VIA processor. My hope is that they will switch to the Atom processor in a future version, maybe even do it later this year. I'm just hoping, because the processor just really can't keep up, I think, with a lot of things. It works great for your typical web browsing, your word processing, so I think a lot of things that your average student would do in school, this would probably be more than adequate for. But once you start introducing Flash, even online video, frankly, it kind of struggles with if it's like at a higher bit rate or something like that. I also asked them about the AC adapter. If you looked at my first video, the power adapter was quite large, and when I asked them why it was so big, what they said was that it's that big in order to provide a quick charge. So the battery on this device, which is this little guy right here, the battery will actually be charged up to 90% within 90 minutes. Now, if they went with a smaller power adapter, something like the Asus EEE PC has, those battery adapters, or the AC power adapters rather, they actually take quite a bit longer to charge. So HP essentially went with a trade-off, thinking that people would want to have a bigger power adapter to charge their device faster. I would have liked something smaller because I don't think quick charging is that important, but again, that's just one of those trade-offs that some people prefer to have. So that's been my review of this device. It's Jason Dunn from Digital Home Thoughts. Check out the rest of our videos, and thanks for watching.